What's up, everyone? Welcome to HANGTIME Live number 4. Nev was just about to talk just as we went online, but here we are, HANGTIME Live number 4. Welcome back to the Toofast studio here. We've got a very special show for you today. First up, let me introduce my guests. We've got Neil Prince over here, former British 125 champion. We've got Nev Bradshaw over here, former multiple-time Red Bull Pro National champion. Many accolades, you know him from his two-stroke videos at the moment. Before we begin, I just need to say a big thank you to the sponsor of today's show, which is www.motocrossdirect.co.uk. They're the suppliers of HDS pipes, Hahn wheels, VHM, V-Force. So a big thank you to Roland for sponsoring tonight's show. Nev, you've actually just picked up a new, is it brand new or what year's your 125?
18.
An 18 125. I mean, you've got some of those bits on it, some of Roland's bits. What have you got on your bike?
Got a VHM head, a V-Force, HGS, pop, and his jet in specs. It's awesome bike to ride. Like, I love that bike.
So, what's the difference you felt from the stock version to the new version you got now with those bits on it?
I really liked it. I bought it with an HGS pop on it straight away, so I really liked it like that. And then it's just pretty much enhanced it. You know, like everything that was good is even better. It revs on a little bit longer. It's got a little more meat in the power, and it's just real. Like an old school 125 with that snap. It's got like a lot of snap to it. It makes it a lot of fun to ride. So it definitely made some good improvements, you know, which I didn't. I was quite surprised at because, as I said, I really liked the bike when I first got it, but we've definitely made it more fun to ride. So.
Yeah, I think we're just playing a clip of you at Encore here, and it looks like you're having a lot of fun on it, like wheeling and tyre tapping.
Yeah, like that's the thing with the 125. Kind of like how you picture yourself riding in your head is how you can ride a 125. As funny as it sounds, but yeah, I get that feeling, and you're just super safe, and you can take from your mind and put it onto the track. You know, you can throw it about, you can wheelie over takeoffs, you can endo, you can do a lot of cool stuff and be pretty safe on it. So I think that's why I'm enjoying it. Yeah. So Nev's obviously happy with his parts of motocrossdirect.co.uk. If you want to pick up a HS pipe, VHM, V-Force, Hahn wheels, and they've got a whole load of other stuff as well. Check out the website. They've just got a brand new website. So once again, big thank you to those guys for sponsoring tonight's show. Neil, what's up in your life, man? What's going on?
Not much. Got some dates for racing. So
happy Neil this week.
Yeah, team's back on it next week. We've kind of been on it a bit over. You know, the guys have been riding, been servicing bikes and stuff like that. But we've got some dates now starting in Latvia. If anything comes up before or after, then we're on it straight away. So. We've got a goal now. It's about a month away. The guys have obviously ridden quite a lot of hours. They kind of say they haven't. You know, you ask them, they're like, yeah, we need more. But I can tell by the hours they've done a lot of riding. So
they're ready to go.
They're ready. I think they're probably all nervous because, you know, there's no racing and they're all riding. They're all riding every day. Like I watched Neville ride the other day and the brakes actually done him good. Like I see that he's got a bit of freshness back in his stance on the bike, and I think that's like everybody. It's just they just don't know where they're going to be when racing starts. So
to be fair, like when have riders ever had this long away from racing? It doesn't happen anymore, does it? Like there's no off season. There's always a race to do.
Well, I think the thing is they do the winter season. You go, right, we're going to start a Hawkstone Park or a French International. They build up for that and they're a little nervous and they go into there.
Yeah.
With this lockdown, it's kind of like we don't know when we're going to go racing. So they're obviously riding, they're doing their time, not really doing motos or practicing starts, but they're probably like, am I racing next month or aren't I? So they're all probably living more relaxed.
Limbo, basically, isn't it? Living in limbo a little bit.
Yeah. Like I've seen Gilbert a couple of times riding, and the first time I saw him at where it was Apex, and he'd had kind of a break, and he'd come riding, and it looked like he'd had a bit of weight off his shoulders when the season was starting. Riding good, everything was looking good. I'm not like saying anything bad about him.
This is Josh Gilbert, your MX2 rider. Yeah.
But then when I saw him at Apex, it was like even in his riding there was like a freshness there, which
like a rejuvenation kind of.
Kind of, because I think they have that build up of all winter training, and you know they got 2 months to get a lot in to get ready to go racing. Where now they've all kind of probably gone fishing, or no, that wasn't allowed, or stayed at home, watched a bit of Netflix, done their training. It's kind of given them riders kind of a break. You know, if you look at like Joel last year, he did all the winter AMs in America. Gilbert pretty much started training as soon as the season finished, ready for next year.
It's a grind, isn't it?
It's a grind where all these guys have kind of had a break. So I think when racing starts, I think you'll see a lot of guys fresh-faced and like
It'll be definitely
ready to go.
interesting. Yeah,
Instead of having 2 months off, they've had nearly 8 months off. It's going to be quite interesting to see how they go, really.
Yeah, so we'll jump into that a little bit more later on in the show, and a couple of the latest segments. Let me just run through what we've got. We're going to start off with Petrol Headlines, talk about some more calendar stuff, some more news that's happened this week. Then we'll go to Moto Fights. You'll see the title of this video. It's a hot topic, so we're going to have a fierce debate here. Nev and Neil are going to try and convince me what's better, the AMA or the GP, so stay tuned for that. And then we'll go to a new segment, which is called Rad or Wrong, and we'll keep that one a little bit of a surprise, but we're looking forward to that. And then, as always, we're going to finish with Dirt Brains. Neil's a little bit nervous about that.
Very nervous. I need to watch more YouTube, I think.
You need to catch up, mate.
Catch up. Yeah, getting old.
Neil actually came to the studio today. When he turned over, he was like, guys, I didn't get my revision in this week. I'm feeling a bit down, a bit nervous. So it's eating away at him.
You've got to live
It's
it,
2-0
You don't revise, you've got to live it.
A little bit.
You just got to know it. It's just got to be a second nature. There's no revising.
And finally, before we jump into the first segment, today's a special show. It's my birthday, so to celebrate, we're going to be doing 2 sets of merch giveaways in today's show. We're going to pick a comment from the first half and pick a comment from the second half of the show, and those 2 comments are going to win some merch, some of this stuff. So make sure you comment in, send us your best questions, your best comments, and we'll pick a winner at the end of the show. Pick 2 winners to get some merch. So without further ado, let's jump into our first segment of the day, Petrol Headlines. Right, so we're back. Petrol Headlines, segment number 1 of Hang Time number 4. What are the headlines this week? Well, the AMA, headline number 1. AMA Pro Nationals suspended indefinitely, headline number 1. Headline number 2, we've got a brand new MXGP calendar, which then leads into headline number 3. Looks like the 2020 Motocross of Nations, no longer being held in France, going to be right here in England at Matley Basin. Where do you guys want to start?
Well, I've got to start with that one.
Matley Basin?
If you think there's no racing in the UK at the minute, we're going to run MX Nations, so I don't know how that's going to work out.
Yeah,
so
it was a bit of a shock, to be fair. When I was reading through the calendar, I was like, going through, yeah.
I didn't see
and
it.
then I kind of just saw, there's going to be another round of Matley later on.
Yeah, that's
It didn't kind of compute that it was the nations to start with.
Well, my good friend...
Yeah, I did the same. I thought it was
and then I was looking
for what classes were going to be at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they said...
No, there was no 125 class there, Nev.
what, 37-year-old in the 125 class?
You'll be fine, dude.
A veterans 125 class.
Yeah, so I think it's Lucas all by surprise, isn't it? Did you see it coming? Because I thought France was one of the more open countries.
Yeah, I thought that as well. I thought if it was going to happen anywhere, it was going to happen in France.
I think the problem is, you're talking MX Nation, so France has a maximum of 5,000 spectators right now. Maybe gets more. So the MX Nations, let's be honest, 5,000 is not even worth running the event.
No.
You know, you're talking 20, 30,000 need for that event.
That's just not going to fly, is it?
To me,
I don't think.
it's
when
going
is
to
it
be
scheduled?
27th of
September.
To me, I hope it happens. I really do. But
do you think they'll run it with no crowd? Do you think they can?
No,
absolutely not.
No, I think kind of we're hoping every day it's changing. You know, you're on about the World Championship calendar. Like today, Norm, who does the flights for us in the team, obviously looked at Latvia. We need to fly there.
Yeah,
we got a quarantine there for 14 days when we get there.
So Latvia's not on the list that Boris put out on Saturday.
No, it isn't. No,
whenever he did.
And when we come home, we got
spanner in the works, isn't it?
So we got a quarantine for 14 days when we get back as well.
Yeah.
So that's got to change, or it makes Latvia quite difficult for us.
The other thing, like, as my dude, like,
which is a month out from it, basically.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Even though I'm just riding for fun and stuff, like, I even want to race, and I want the racing to happen, but you got to look at places like Australia and stuff, like, you know, what's to say England doesn't go back into lockdown, you know, like, that's, and also for people trying to plan, you know, for the countries, the Americans, the South Africans, New Zealand, Australia, that's what makes the Motocross of Nations is getting everyone together, you know, like, everything is so up in the air at the minute, and you think that event's only, 2.5, 3 months away?
Yeah, it's not that. We're in July.
You know,
we're in July. It's not like we're at the start of the season anymore.
Talking a month from today, you know, we're getting going. Like, the truck's got to leave.
9th of August.
Yeah, the truck's got to leave. So, Yeah.
So a lot's got to change them up. So that this all these news stories kind of blur into one because it's all kind of coronavirus related. I was reading an article on Racer X just before you boys turned up about the Nationals, an interview with David Coombs.
Yeah.
Obviously, he owns Racer X and he owns MX Sports, which is the series promoter of the Nationals. And they're asking, what's going on? Why aren't we going racing? And they've said, it's a bit confusing at the start. They're saying they was meant to start in July. Yeah. Then they said maybe August. But then as you read the article, you kind of get the feeling that there's no hope for it. Because in the article, it said that there's several teams that came away from Salt Lake City after Supercross with corona in their team, like an outbreak of corona in their team.
Oh, right, okay,
so
I didn't know that.
In the article, it's like no one's shouting about it, but it's known that there's a few people in the industry out there with corona. So
there's going to be. Do you know what I mean? Like we could be sat here with it. Like that's the problem. You don't really.
Have you got anything to make it up to?
No, but that is the problem. You don't really know. And I think that's where it's kind of a little bit invisible. Do you know? And you see all the news and stuff. And I don't know. America, I think, if you look at the news over as America full stop, they've got an outbreak everywhere.
Yeah.
It's in a pretty bad state.
The two worst hit states are Florida and I don't know. I think Texas might be up there as well, but Florida and California are among the worst.
But they're not trying to control it there that much
where's
either.
the industry at? Florida so basically, what David Coombs was saying was they've got, I think, one track that they could go to now and race at in Indiana. I think he said, but they don't know anywhere else they can go at the moment. It's always changing. Different states have different laws and whatnot. Yeah. He basically said we don't want to bring a whole load of personnel, a whole load of teams out of Florida and out of California to Indiana and just send them back again. Yeah. And keep doing that. Yeah. Because they don't have a schedule and they can't have a schedule yet because all the different states are in different situations. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just reading the article, you kind of think, doesn't look good over there. Are they going to be able to go racing?
And then you get a club race in England that's got full classes in every gate, full gates in every class. Crazy, isn't it? Like it's how.
Yeah, but I think the UK and Europe, from what I can gather. I mean, I'm no scientist, but we've done the lockdown. We're trying to come out of it. America, really, they were planning to run their series. They put down, like, spectators will be there, 20, 30,000.
That's another thing that David Coombs says. Is like, people are saying, why can't you do what Supercross did and run it just for TV? And he was like, that's their business model isn't geared towards that. They couldn't make it work just with TV coverage.
100%, yeah, I agree.
They need the crowds there to make their series work.
But that's the thing, like, everyone that's doing it, the reason they're doing it is it's a job, isn't it? So if things don't, if the money doesn't work out, if there's no spectators that can come and watch, it's just it's an effect all the way down the line, isn't it? From the promoters to the teams to the riders, all the way down. It's starts at the top and then falls all the way down. So and it's like for the promoters and stuff, they can't plan because the amount of stuff is changing at the minute. Yeah, it's out of their hands. It's not like like they put out their dates and then things have changed between then and now. Even it's not something you can control. It's out of everyone's control.
Yeah, it's another thing that was in the article. He was kind of saying, like, it's not them being scared or fear-mongering or anything like that. It is literally out of their hands because it's a national series and it's in the hands of the government and the people a lot higher up than the motocross industry to decide what events and sports can go on. Yeah. But on the other hand, do you see that the GNCC's run out there? Zach Osborne's going to race this weekend. Yeah.
But that's been running. They've been running
for a few weeks.
Yeah, they've been already.
But the difference there is I saw was the GNCC is seen as a participator run event. Yeah. So it's not a big it's not seen as like a national championship or a big massive thing. It's like the participators run it and that's how they're allowed to do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they're still going to have plenty of people there. It's
factory riders, all these factory teams. Like it's not
all these
like
loopholes, isn't it?
It's not like it's a club race on a weekend, is it? Like you got there's crews, there's teams, there's mechanics.
Well, there's been plenty of racing on in Europe. You know what I mean?
It's actually quite cool to see.
Yeah, and there's been people there, looking normal, not all masks on. Plenty at the track. I've seen a few videos of guys. There's plenty of spectators there.
Estonian Championship ran this weekend.
Exactly.
Czech Championship has been on.
Yeah, that's the second round of the Estonian Championship. Yeah. and then the World
Latvia,
Enduro was
there
on the
one in
weekend.
Latvia as well, I think. Latvian Championship.
Yeah.
So there is racing, and I kind of thought, like, same in England. So England had their first race this weekend. Like, I was under the impression, right, we're going to have one race and then that'll be it, dude. Like, the next 3 weeks are going to be full of races to choose.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't seem...
it's just a waiting game, isn't it? I think some of the federations want to run and have given the go-ahead to run, and then there's other federations that are more cautious and don't run. So it's kind of just up in the air. I think it's going to take one of the big, like an MX Nationals or a British Championship race to happen, and then that'll kind of be... You know, but then again, it's up to the government, you know. It can be pulled at any time. Like, you can put
It's
the dates
always
down
changing,
together,
isn't it?
and Boris Johnson can say, right, we're going back into lockdown for 3 weeks, and that's it, all done again, you know.
So that's what I think people are scared of planning stuff, because it's just so
Yeah.
unknown, isn't it?
Yeah.
But getting back to the schedule then, Neil, the GP schedule.
Yeah.
I've just got it on my phone here. What were your thoughts of it when you first saw it? Were you happy, or were you a bit, oh, that's a bit much? Or
I think
'cause obviously
I think the races were a little bit too many. I agree with the Latvian thing, the Italians.
because you've got
There was a gap in between the two, which they probably
you've
didn't
got
need.
3 races in Latvia off
Yeah.
the bat. Within first one's on the 9th, the last one's on the 16th of August.
Yeah, so it goes
within
like...
just over a week of each other.
I think that's good. Like,
that,
gets
2 or
us all
3?
there.
3,
3 in a week.
just over a week, and then you've got.
Or they're one-day races.
Oh, no, you do like Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And
But it's
then
like so
Like the
qualifying,
Supercross.
it's
or
all-
is it?
It's all all on Sunday, so they have qualifying, free practice qualifying in the morning, like same practice, like maybe 30 minutes, then 2 races in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and it's the same with Joel on the Saturday. He'll have his qualifying and then 2 races on Saturday. So they've just basically made it 1-day events, which I think that's good. They maybe should try and do events
Yeah,
like
that's
you
quite
get
cool.
the truck there, park up, you can leave it there for good time instead of rushing. You've got to, I think
But
it's.
Argentina's a long way to go for a 1-day event, no?
Some of them were going to be that, but to me it makes sense. You know, like America, the Supercross. For sure, they've got to be thinking, hold on a second, we run at Salt Lake City, we run 7 events. It was 7 events, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You imagine how much the team saved doing that.
massively.
Doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
the fuel costs.
transporting the truck. I know you want to go to different states. I understand that, but you know, in Latvia, I think they've come back in front with a solid calendar, which is possible to do. I think some of them dates on there won't happen. That's my opinion, and they've put up that they're thinking in time it will happen. Like MX Donations, I've got to be honest. I don't see it happen. I hope it does for Steve Dixon, because he's not scared to put on the line to make it happen. But you know, there's no British Championship date yet. You know, and if they're thinking about running an MX Donations, for sure there should be British Championships ran last weekend. Then do you know what I mean? To get things going.
Like, how do you do a team selection at the moment for Motocross Nations? You need some racing before that, don't you?
It'll be like, if it does happen, it'll be more like that World Cup thing they had in America that year, Glen Hilly. Remember when they cancelled the Destinations right at the last minute?
Yeah, I raced there.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I remember seeing your name in it.
Me, Robbie, and I think Jamie Dobb. I think
What year was that then? Before my time, mate. I
2000,
can't remember that.
2002 or 3, I think, because Yoshi was on our team at that time, and I had a bit of a race with him, one of the races, if I remember.
Yeah. The event organizer pulled out just before or something, was it?
Oh, I think they built like
Was that when it was meant to be like out in Russia or something?
America.
It was meant
it
to
was
be
in America,
Oh,
but it
okay.
was not far from Glen Helen, but it was like on a private. It might have been where that track is now. Is it Fox Raceway? It might have been down that way, and it never happened. So they ended up moving the event because we all went over there ready to go, cancelled it, and then they run the event in Glen Helen.
Yeah.
And the American team, I'm sure, was maybe Fonseca and.
But was it a Motocross of Nations? It wasn't a Motocross of Nations.
No, they kind of dropped the badge, but Glen Helen put on an event because all the Europeans were there ready to race the MX Nations. So they said, right, okay, we'll run an event, and they just got separate teams. So I think a lot of the teams arrived. Like we went early with Yoshi Adzuda because his bike was at Honda America, and then there was other people there, so they kind of put a team together. I think like Langston rode there,
Yeah, Grant.
Albertine was riding there, yeah. It was good. It was a good event. It was a relaxed event.
It looked like a fun.
Yeah.
Just a fun.
That goal-
Yeah.
lightning in a bottle kind of event, that isn't it? You're never going to get that
No,
mixture of
rather
ingredients again.
No.
And I think this year with the MX Nations, you know, whether it's UK or whatever happens, America probably won't come this year. So to me, yeah, I'll probably get slated for this, but you know that they'll be missed, and I think Australia's going to struggle to come as well, unless they've got enough riders here like Mitch Evans, and there's a couple of, I don't know them, Crawford, is it? There's a few good riders. I think Dixon's got another good rider as well, Australian rider. So there's possibilities of some here, but yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for the MX Nations. Yeah, I mean, we can chuck it together. I'd get Team Wales together.
Yeah, get Wales together.
That's it. Get Mark Jones on the gas, be full gas.
South Africa, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just give me a bike, I'll be there.
Wales for a weekend, can't you? All right, so let's just talk about Lommel before we move on. There's 3 races in Lommel as well. And that could work really well, couldn't it? It just made me laugh looking at the calendar, how creative they got with the names. They've got all 4 races at Lommel. They've got the Monster Energy GP of Flanders, they've got the GP of Limburg, and the GP of Lommel. I
don't get why they do that.
I don't. There must be.
It must be the
they
promoters.
Do it for
it's the promoters, isn't it? Like
yeah,
the people
probably.
That
So it's not.
Events.
So it's not confusing.
Yeah.
Because they do that with the Italian ones as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Or there's another way to look at it. Or have they got different people involved with them days? Because in Latvia, did you see Giuseppe said they can only have 1,000 spectators there per day? It's on his interview in MX Large. So we also are now waiting to see how many people can go to the event from the team. So, you know, if they say, okay, you know, our team can only have 10 people there, including riders. So then, you know, where some teams have 20 people, they're probably going to limit the people in Latvia with spectators. I'm not too sure if it meant 1,000 total
or 1,000 spectators.
1,000 spectators, because obviously you've got EMX 250 there that day. And I only heard today, I think they're taking 2 lots of qualifying. So that potentially could be 80 riders.
80 riders.
So there's 80 riders. And
family.
And there's open there as well.
Mechanic and dad, isn't it?
And there's open there that weekend as well. So probably Nathan Dixon will ride there as well in Latvia.
Yeah.
So there's another 80 riders.
What's that?
That's like that new class they came out with.
You can ride any bike.
Any age, any bike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a lot of riders to start with, isn't it?
Yeah. And then when you look at, say, 80, 160, then you've got like another 80 of MX thing, that's like 240. That's 240 riders.
Plus mechanics, principals.
So the numbers start adding up quite a lot.
Yeah.
What a good time to be alive.
Yeah, and if they don't qualify, they'll probably just do from all at the pits quickly to make more room for spectators.
But from your point of view as a team manager, it's all systems go at the moment. You're getting ready to go racing.
Yeah, we've got to get ready. You know, and you know the other curveball is, you know, say if the British go right, okay, we're going to run the same day, and basically we've got to stay and do the British Championship. We're our deal is with Husqvarna UK, so.
You got a race here.
That's where we've got to be. You know, that's our main thing to be at, really. So,
if you need a ride in MX1 and your boys away, hit me up.
Perfect.
Right. So
Bobby will be quarantined for 14 days. So bless him.
Keep me in quarantine. Give me that 777.
So let's move on to segment number 2 of today's show, which is Moto Fights. So we know the topic. The debate is already raging in the chat. I can see it. AMA, GP, AMA is already going. So remember, guys, give us your comments and questions, because one of you is going to win some merch, or 2 of you is going to win some merch after today's show. Right, you never even told me before we started. One of the guys is going to pick GPs, and one of them is going to pick AMA, and they've got to convince me which one's better. But I don't know who's picking what. Nev, as you was here first this afternoon, you get to pick first.
So what is the actual...
So
he's here revising early. That's what Neville's doing. That's why he's here.
Yeah, you've got is MXGP versus AMA.
Yeah. What, like the speed of it, or?
It's up to you. You can pick the kind of whatever route you want to go to try and convince me, whether it's the speed of the riders, the quality of the racing, or like the potential of a career. What's better to do?
That's a tough one there.
So just pick, man. Come on.
Yeah, I'll go with GPs in.
GPs. So you're fighting for GPs.
Pure speed factor, I think.
And you're fighting for AMAs. You got to convince.
Cheers, Neville. Cheers.
You got to convince me and the audience watching at home why your pick is better. So let's start. Neil, AMA. Why is AMA great first?
I didn't pick it. Neville picked first.
Right. Your choice then.
Do you want to
Your-
over there?
No.
Soccer.
I'm cool. I can make up a story. No, it's not a story. You can't compare them anymore. That's easy.
That's what we're
That's
exactly what we're trying
a
to do.
statement, mate.
Yeah,
That is a statement.
that's what I mean. It's very hard because, but America. Let's look at it. If you're a young kid and you're really good at Supercross, just say you're really good. You've got to be extremely good because, you know, you've got, for example, Sexton, Faulkner. You got them type of guys in there, you know, and you can earn a lot of money in America. If you're good at Supercross, you're going to earn a lot of money. Like
More
that's
money
for
than
sure.
you can earn here, do you reckon?
Definitely,
Yeah.
100%. You know, and then it'll lead. If you're good on the MX2 class, which
But
I
you've got to
believe
be on a small percentage to make that money.
exactly, and I think, but you've got to be at a very good level to make that happen from a European rider going over there. So the life is probably quite a lot different. The weather's good over there. It's not good over there now at the minute, but like you know, the weather's good. Tracks are well, you know, the lifestyle.
Language is the
Yeah,
same
like-
everywhere.
A lot of guys probably want to go there for the lifestyle, but yeah, it's kind of hard to convince you. Like,
Then, one thing I would say, it's not often you get like full-on mudders and stuff in America, is it? Like you do your days racing on a pretty good track with good weather normally.
well, I would say if you had 10 of your best riders in Europe, including Jeffrey,
Guys,
even Caroli, Geyser, you said to them guys, okay, right, you've got a choice. Do the American series, and you know your deal is what it is. You know you're taken care of like you are in Europe. I would say 8 out of 10 of them are going straight to America for the lifestyle, the Supercross, the glitz and glamour. They get good crowds. The way it's kind of the whole lifestyle.
Chicks.
Chicks, whatever. But the whole lifestyle is what the kids want
certainly more
nowadays.
bolt-ons over there,
Chicks
isn't
and
there?
dirt bikes.
You know, but then
Sunshine.
yeah, I can't. I'm
Right, so
I'm
we'll
keeping
put-
away from MXGP
We'll put a pin in. You're saying lifestyle for the AMA is better. Nev, what?
not
better,
lifestyle.
but
I mean the racing life
the racing life
is much more. If you're a good rider and you're doing well in the races, it's probably not that great if you're not doing great in the races. But if you're doing good, for sure, 8 out of 10 guys would go to America probably tomorrow.
And Nev, so what's your argument for MXGP? Do you think tracks here are better than tracks there, or do you think quality of racing is
I
better
think
here?
mainly the reason I went to the MXGP is just the speed of it and the depth of the MXGP class and even the MX2 class and the European class. Like every single class has got so much depth and the racing is good all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy that's racing in 15th, 16th, like he's racing for his job, you know, like, and they're good riders, you know, like all the way down. The top 20 in the MX1 class are all national champions. You know, you get British championships going to guys that win the British championship go to the GPs and they're racing between 12th and 20th, you know, and they like legit guys. So I think the depth of rider is good, you know, the way that those guys race, like it's long races and stuff, and the technique is different. You get varied tracks, you know, like you go to track like Loquet, then you go to Lommel, you know, and then you get like now obviously there's a lot more man-made tracks, so you get that variety in it. And then just the amount of, you know, like I think the tracks get so rough now, and that's what's made the guys so good because of the amount of riding that gets done in them. Like you go to Lommel and they got like 5 or 6 classes, you know, that track is like, it's like a bomb's hit it, you know, and those guys learn to ride those tracks, isn't it? It's like
it's a track where, you know, I can still ride okay.
Yeah.
And I got a Lommel, half a lap.
Yeah.
I can't even go, and then
if you're not going fast around Lommel, you can't even get like when it's rough.
You ain't
like
getting
that,
around there.
You don't get 2 laps in, like, you know. So I think that side of it, and you know, I think like the camaraderie is a bit more. Obviously, you know, when you get the teams traveling between countries, you know, teams within teams. So like the mechanics, the riders, you know, people living out of motorhomes here in Europe, which is quite cool. So I'd say that's side of it, but the main reason why I'd go to Europe is just the depth, you know, like you get the EMX2 class even, you know, the 250
It'd be
class.
interesting to see, actually do the homework and the stats to see how many riders in the MXGP class have won a GP race before. So it's probably like
top
at least a
15,
top 15
top
of one,
15
like
for
in
sure.
MX2 or in MX1 won a
Yeah.
race. And then it'd be interesting to compare that to how many riders in the 450 class have won a national
Yeah.
in America.
Man,
I think
like,
I would
I
think
in-
that
I
the
think in
GPs is a lot
America,
deeper in that sense.
Like in America, there's, you know, awesome riders. Like, you can't take anything away from the guys, but, you know, like in Europe, it's just the depth of it, you know, like there's guys, there's factory riders in 15th place, you know, like in America, like there's like 5 or 6, maybe 7 really good guys, but even they get spaced out, you know, like you watch like an MXGP race and you get like Sewer or like, you know, there's loads of guys that can be between like 6th and 15th, going backwards and forwards, you know, and the depth, like those are all solid dudes, you know, like where I feel like in America, it's like you get like your 6 or 7, 8 guys, and then it's not like privateers, but it's more like open to like your British Championship level rider, you know, like I'd say like if a top British Championship rider went to America, they'd finish 12th or 13th, you know, like if someone that's running top 3 or actually top 5 in the British Championship would go to America and finish between 8th and 15th, like in my opinion, you know, like
how
when
did Jake do?
Jake was 11th, wasn't he? 10th and 11th.
But he was he fourth? He was quite up there. He showed a lot of promise,
Yeah.
but he did come through. Wasn't he about 4th or 5th in one race? But did he go down or something happened to him?
I know he finished about 9th or 10th,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Because Bobby's done it before as well. He's done a couple of odd rounds, hasn't he?
Has he?
Bobby Chef has been over there, hasn't he?
Has
I'm
he?
pretty
No, I
sure
don't
he's
think
raced
he
it.
has.
No,
He always
yeah.
wants to go there.
And hasn't he done it? Oh.
No,
maybe
I tell you
maybe
who
he told
impressed me
me.
when there was Clement Cell when he went on the Suzuki, and he
Yeah,
was finishing
yeah.
like 4th, 5th in the world, and when he went out there, dude, he was like with Dungey racing for the win.
He went on the Honda, didn't he? LS, and had something like a 4th or 5th
Did
at
he? I know the
Southwick, I think it was.
I remember, I think it was Unadilla on the Suzuki. He raced Dungey the whole motor pretty much when Dungey was winning the championship.
Well, Hurlings went there.
Oh yeah,
Come from last and won the race. That was
from
mega.
that side, like, so that side I think's better, but like I would agree with Neil on the lifestyle side and the track side.
So, why do you think that is? Because certainly when I was a kid, America was dominant, so dominant. They seemed like they had all the depth, and the GPs didn't have the depth. Why do you think that's changed? Do you think it's because of like the EMX 250 125 program that's bringing kids up through the ranks in a much more structured way?
I think the people change. You know, like I never forget the day. For me as a race, I saw something one day and it blew my head off. And a lot of, and like I'm going to show my age now, was 2000 and I think it was 3 MX Nations in a place called Zolder,
Belgium, right?
Belgium. It was a mess. Like, and in the morning, Ricky Carmichael's mechanic come to our truck, wanted to borrow a chain guard.
So you was Cass Honda at the time.
Cass Honda, running Cass Honda. We had Josh Coppins, Vivalainen, who was on the podium that weekend, Yoshi Adzuta, and maybe Shane King was out of our truck that day as well. And Carmichael was out in practice. It was a big finish line jump there. And first lap, he just hit it. It was like probably 75. I remember everyone was walking the track going, ooh. He just had it completely flat.
And it had like ruts the whole way
Yeah.
down, didn't it?
And he just come through.
Is that when he was number 85?
Yeah.
That's it.
And he's just hanging off the side of the bike.
Yeah, that's it.
I had that picture of my bedroom.
And then, I mean, whether Everts listens to this, like, he'll probably rage me about this.
Right, Stefan?
But Everts was like the king, and still is. You know what I mean? Like, the guy's a legend. But in the last race, or whatever race it was, he got the start, and Carmichael was about 15th or 16th off the gate. UC Vivalainen was in the same race, and I thought, but hell, like, he's not going to win this. And he come through them on his CR250.
On his CR250 as well.
Everts on his 4-stroke, absolutely reeled him in. And the track, because I think there might have been a few stories later, the track didn't quite suit the other riders. I won't say any names, but it didn't quite suit my style and stuff like that. And surely did. It was sand, it was big holes. And if you stand up a lot, it's perfect.
Mm.
He reeled him in, went by. And since that day, I was like, them riders don't come around that often. And I think in America, Tomac, maybe only one time I've seen a ride from him where I've gone, bloody hell, like he can twist it as well. Was in Latvia in
14.
I was the manager for England 14,
yeah.
something like that. He come through them. He went down at the start. First race was a little bit slow. He blamed arm pump, Tomac did. But in the second race, man alive, like if anyone saw him going that day, he didn't win the race. But
was he on a 450 that day?
450 Geico Honda. He went like as if
he
he'd
was jumping into the turns, wasn't he?
Yeah,
like
just
into the
full gas. I think he come to like third or second. I mean, which people go, he didn't win the race, but he come from stone last in the first corner on the floor, and just come. So I think it's the rider if it's inside them. You know, you got like Jeffrey in Europe. You know, that kid's hunger, the way he trains. You know, a few times I've been in Holland and I've met a few people and they've been like, they saw Jeffrey cycling, running in the morning, the way he is, you know, it's them type of people bring it up to another level. And you know, in America at the moment, Tomac shows it now and again. I think one kid who probably, if he comes to his nations or comes to races, probably Cincerello. I think he's kind of got that he can turn it up on days. So I don't know what Neville thinks, but I think there's certain people who have them abilities, and it's them riders
that bring the whole side up.
Exactly, and I don't really see too many Americans with the hunger of like people like Curlings or even Suri, like he's a tough little cookie, or Prado's a tough little cookie. You know, them type of people. Really, that's my opinion.
I think what I think's made the difference over the past few years is first of all how competitive the EMX 250 class is. So that class going up. Then the second thing I think that's done it is the under 23 rule in the MX2. So the MX1 class is now so stacked.
Yep.
So you have to be on top of your game just to try to sneak into the top 10. So
there's no like layup anymore, is there?
Exactly. You know, and so that's the second thing. The third thing I think is all the guys living in Belgium and Holland and training on those tracks. You know, like you go to Lommel on a weekday and it's like a GP. So those guys are training with each other. They're using each other for speed. The tracks are getting rougher. The practices. Like Lommel on a Wednesday is probably rougher than most AMA national tracks will be by the end of the day, you know. So they're learning technique, their fitness is getting good, they're gauging themselves on other GP riders during the week. And I think the combination of that, and then also you think how much more time a Grand Prix rider spends on a track on a weekend than an AMA rider.
Yeah.
So they got the whole of the Saturday doing fast laps. So dude, like they probably like when you qualifying,
it's going to change.
You learn to go fast,
soon.
You know,
like coming from a filmer's point of view, filming a GP is pretty nice because you've got so much time out on track to get your shots.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to like a Maxis or British Championship, which is a one-day event, same as the Nationals, you're like, I don't have enough time to get everything I need.
Those guys,
and if you take that into bike time, it's
they learning,
exactly
you know, like
same.
free practice. It's not a free practice, dude. People are putting in times. You know, qualifying practice times again. Then they've got a qualifying race on the Saturday. Then the next day it's the same again. You know, so you think on a weekend they're doing like 2.5 times the riding that you do at a national, at a high intensity. You know, like every lap's accountable, dude. Like you come in from every session and you're expecting your name to be somewhere on the board. So I think the combination of those three things is, I think, what's made the level rise so much in Europe over the last 5 or 6 years, I reckon.
I found when I was racing, I always come in and look for the button on the TV to look at the next screen. Where's the second page?
No, the worst is coming in at a GP and like looking at like number 40 and you're just like, Jesus, don't let me do below. Then like if you're just above, you like, you just wait until the thing ends and then you just looking to see if anyone else is on the train.
Right, so last question then. Last question. If you was a parent or a coach or you was guiding a young rider that had the talent to go win GPs or go and win Supercross, and they're like a European rider, where are you telling them to go?
America.
You're saying it. So you've been arguing GPs, but you're saying America.
Yeah, no, I say that the GPs are quicker.
Yeah.
But personally, I'd like to race in America and live in America and be in that whole scene. And I think for a kid coming through to make it, is possibly, you know, like that pool in the MX 250 class, you got like, what, 40 top, like, or say 20?
Yeah.
20 like good riders from every country in Europe trying to make it. You know, I think when you go to America, it's a little bit like less, you got more chance there, you know, like you can go to Millsap's facility, you can go to all these Supercross facilities, can't you, to learn the Supercross thing. You got loads of, the weather's a lot better, you know, like you don't have to spend 3 months of the year riding around in mud.
When you were coming up, when you were 16 or 17, whenever you decided to move out here, was it always here, or did you think about America?
I just wanted anywhere that wasn't South Africa. No, I wanted to get to Europe. Like America was never really an option for me. At one stage in 2006, I got a deal to go race for a Honda team in America, and I was very close to going. But I'd already done 3 years here, and I just met my wife. And I just started getting settled here, and I didn't want to start over again. And sometimes I look back on it and think, How like
What if, yeah.
you know, like it could have been like way different, you know.
Yeah, but this is the bit I was getting to. This is where it's hard to compare the two. Like, I agree with you. Like, Everett had a hard decision years ago whether he goes to America, which he probably could have made some money, or he stays here and takes world championships.
Yeah.
So, kind of, it's on the rider. But you can go Millsaps, you can go these places, and if you've got the financial backing to do that, which a lot of kids have that backing
they do now.
to go do that, and a lot of them go there and they don't do it. They come home and they do British Championship, because I think in America...
Another question quick before you do that. Yeah. Like, just because this in my head and you just brought it up.
Yeah.
So you said that Stefan was faced with the option to go.
I reckon.
Yeah, for sure he would have been.
Yeah.
So he chose Europe.
Yeah.
Sebastian chose America.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is... Which
happier.
one do you think made the right choice at that time?
Everett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
That's what I mean. It's all down
It's better to be a big fish
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
Compared to
The-
the Americans, I think.
the biggest
big
fish
in the...
in the smaller pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think this is the bit I was getting to on the overall of this story is to go America, like, right, we're going to go America and race. It's very hard for a European rider to go there and make it properly. Like Musquin's done it, John Michelle Bell's done it,
Roxon.
Roxton's done it. But
You've got to be quite a
there's not-
talented natural rider to make it in America, I think.
If you look at, like, there's not that many European riders that have won a Supercross. I think JMB's the only French rider to win a 450 Supercross championship.
But
he's the only one to win a 450 Supercross championship,
really?
French rider.
But another one, I'll throw another one at you there. How many times would Roxton have maybe been world champion if he'd stayed in Europe?
Yeah, there's multiple times. Well, it's the Hurlins, but
But if he was
Caroli,
here, he probably would say he's happy where he is. He's got his life. He's got his
for sure.
wife, got his dog. I
Yeah,
can't
I
believe he's
think
got some
I think
internet
he-
following, but
His lifestyle, I think, is happy in America.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
He wanted to, from
That's-
a young age, he's wanted to live that
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah, and that's the difference
But
between.
do you think he's more financially successful being out there than he would have if he
I
stayed
would
here?
say, like, it doesn't really matter if you're the top in America or you're the top in Europe. I wouldn't say there's too much in it, to be fair.
Do you not think?
Like compared to how you live. Do you know what I mean? So the cost of living, how
Yeah,
you live
yeah.
there, what you get paid,
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
cost of
So
living
you might
in
get a
Europe.
bigger paycheck there, but everything's
You
more
know,
expensive.
exactly.
Tortelli could answer that.
Yeah.
If he was here, he could answer that for us. Like on
Yeah.
his, he might sit here and go, went to America. Yeah, he got injured a lot, but he might go, dude, I got plenty of money in the
Paid
bank
loads
from
of
that.
money,
All
yeah.
right, okay then. We don't. That's the bit we don't really know. But I think to go to America,
I think if America saw the best of him, man, no one would touch him.
no.
He was just injured the whole time, I think. Like, those races when he came from, like, last and won them
Yeah.
at Glen Helen.
Yeah,
Like, that was Sebastian Tortelli. Then I think after that, it was just, like, one thing after another. He never really got...
yeah, going.
you know,
And that's probably where that life of Supercross kind of can tax the body. Because the other thing is we're talking about, you know, you could take Hurlins there, win every national in America, smoke them every meeting. He can do it. There's no question about it. But he might do one Supercross and practice all winter, get half decent at it. It's a different
yeah,
type
that's
of...
a big risk.
It's a different style, I think, and a lot of riders have tried it, been there, got injured, and it's, you know, these guys are pretty good at staying healthy at this Supercross,
Yeah.
and that's the, you know, Tomac's been unfortunate over the last few years, but you know, if you look at Ryan Dungey, he pretty much
He's
never
really
put a foot
perfect
wrong
now,
for like
yeah.
4 years or whatever.
Going back, like, say, 10 years, just from speaking from what I know, and that's, like, the South African route. Like 10 years ago, all the South African kids were going to Belgium, getting flats in Belgium, trying to make it in Belgium, spending like at least 100,000 every year. And now there's not one single one out there,
in Belgium.
except for what's his name? The kid that races the Everton's kid, number 422.
Oh, McClellan.
Camden McLennan.
He raced at Hawkstone this year.
That's
Yeah.
it. But there's probably about 6 or 7 in America. Now.
Like MTF or
Yeah,
something.
they live in at Millsaps or somewhere like that, some other training facilities or whatever, and they're chasing that now because I think it's more viable
But
to go that
interesting,
direction now
like
than
most of the South Africans that made it big in America came via GPs, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Tyler Grant.
yeah.
But also,
Craig.
But now that jumps a lot easier because of like the lifestyle in South Africa and the tracks in South Africa. You know, like you have to learn Europe. Dude, it takes like at least 18 months to learn how to live here, ride the tracks here, where the jump to America is a lot easier, where the tracks are a lot easier, the weather's a lot better.
Language is
the language is the same.
Yeah, but you come because you wanted to do it. You come with probably £10 in your pocket, or rand probably. Is it rand there?
I came with 7,000 rand, dude.
So
£700.
Where what you're on about, what you're saying there is how many kids have come to Europe and they haven't made it, and then they've gone to Millsap's facility because their dad's paying for them.
Yeah, that's it.
Where you never had that. And I remember Greg, you know, I can't go his background, but I did like a lot of GP, like I did the Saturdays, he did the Saturday, Sundays, Greg, but he had pretty not much, you know, he worked hard to get to where he was. Tortelli, he was living in that 508 Mercedes, if I remember, at the races. He built himself up to where he was. No different to you, Nev.
But that's the thing, man. Like, so, you know, like I used to have this with my wife every time we used to go to the race, and she's like, right, we need 2/5 this weekend to pay the mortgage. And dude, like, you get in 2/5, you know, because you know how shit living is without money. No, honestly, but
you're not going the little chef on the way.
That's a different kind of motivation.
Right,
no, it's true.
So
Very
like
true.
if I don't get a deal the next year, and it was the same when I was growing up, dude. Like from when I was a kid, you're either top 3 in the country, you're getting sponsored bikes, you're not racing. And it's the same here, dude. Like I get to the end of the season and I haven't done enough, I'm going home. Where some of those other kids, like, oh, okay, maybe Europe's not for you. Let's go to America. You know, they've got that option. They've got that like big blanket to fall on.
Yeah, but that's why they're probably never going to
always
be like you are.
They'll always be like 20th place
with results.
AMA guys. Do you know what I mean? Because you know, like if you look at anyone, like I've been hanging out to Coops a bit now, man, and like you know,
that's Paul Cooper.
Paul Cooper, I kind of thought I had it hard, and he tells me some stuff, and you're like, dude, but then. You know, it's a reason why those guys fight so hard for it, you know? Like, guys from that southern hemisphere, like, I don't think anyone's had it easy. You know, it's like you live in bad, man. Like,
just even the fact that you're so far away from everyone you know, your parents or whatever, how if you came by yourself like you did, and like, if something goes wrong,
but it's because you want to race motorbikes, dude. It just shows you how, like, through all the bad stuff and... Obviously, like, I'm sure everyone's got stories of almost going home. Like, I've actually packed my bags and ordered a taxi to the airport before. And I just think, like, if that went through, like, my buddy was like...
Why didn't you get in it?
Like, we were both going, and he's like, nah, dude, you stay. Like, I'm going to go. Like, long story, but I stayed. He went, and then, dude, here I am.
15
years later, still riding bikes, still coaching kids, and, like, raced, you know, like... You know, like, I never made a lot of money out of motocross, but I look back on it and think, like, I spent, like, 13 years racing motorbikes as a job. You know, being able to buy bicycles, like, pay my mortgage.
You would have taken that, wouldn't you?
Oh, dude, like, I live my dream. Like, there's, like, no two ways about it. Like, what I dreamed of in my life, and that's the problem I have now, dude. Like whatever I've dreamed of, I've done. You know, like, just wanted to make it to Europe, race a bit. Like, that's finished. And now, like it's done, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have any other dreams.
100k on Instagram, that's the dream.
But no, you know, it's, I think, and it's the same as those Eastern European kids, you know, like Garza and them. They come from nothing, dude.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they succeed, is because there's no other option not to succeed.
Yeah.
Too many people. And Caroli's the same, if you watch his life story. Yeah. Their families are pretty much sacrificed, dude, like everything. And they feel deep inside that they owe it back to their families, that put it all in line for them, you know.
And that's the difference. That's the one call out of that lot. You know, I can explain about the America thing is a lot of people want to go America for the lifestyle, but it's not about the lifestyle. It's there to go racing and succeed at it.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's a lot easier route, I think. Like, you think putting motors in at Glen Helen or motors in at Lomond in the winter.
Yeah, but the bit I'm getting to is you can go do that, but it's still the end of the day. If you went there, you know you've got to go there, put the motors in, get ready for racing. Well, a lot of people are, there we go, kid, there we go, we're going to send you there, you're going to do your riding. It's like the hunger isn't there. If they give them, they go, right, there's your $100. Get yourself the weekend to the local event. You've got to win that event to get $500 to go riding the week.
It's not there from.
Oh, hold on. I want the 500 from you, and I'll.
Yeah. No.
It's, I don't know. It's difficult when. That's what I mean with America to Europe. Nowadays, I think it's hard to compare them. It's two different, two completely different lives.
Like when I was a kid, it was very, very much more. Definitely, when my dreams growing up was always America, always like AMA.
Yeah.
like GPs was.
Oh snap, dude! Like all
But
the racing. I
it's
used to
definitely
watch was
different now, I
American.
think. Let's just check in. We've got a load of comments coming in, so let's just see what the viewers are.
Now we're in trouble. Here we go.
So we've got
This is interesting. Neil, you take the slack, dude.
Ferris Green says MXGP riders have more skill. I don't know if that's the truth or
They
not.
got more- I
All pro
think-
riders have got some
Yeah, they got
fair amount of
maybe
skill.
a little bit more
but
speed. I don't know about skill.
You need to go look at the whoops at San Diego.
David
Yeah,
Ga-
same guys do the
David
whoops.
Gaffney says he thinks AMA is faster. We've got A1R2. I think that AMA have more skill. GP riders are faster. The
Technique-wise on
because of
Supercross.
Supercross, I can see that
technique-wise.
argument.
And
But, like,
style, you know, like, but I think the Europeans have caught the Americans up on style a lot.
I think a lot of things that Americans can't get over is like when they watch GPs or come and watch the EMX 250 class and they see all these weird gear
Yeah.
brands and weird looking helmets and they're like, these guys
Yeah,
can't
but
be
like,
quick, they don't look stylish.
If they came 10 years ago, there was not no style, but the style wasn't really there in Europe. Now these kids have learned from all the Americans, and now like you watch the 1 to 5 class and every kid's upside down the jumps. You know, like they've learned the kind of like the James Stewart.
Yeah.
Who's American. That's where all that came from. You know, so for sure.
You know, I've got a good one here. One big difference between America and Europe, people are going to laugh now, right? It's quite easy to see sometimes that I'm just thought about it is Europe, they ride a gear higher.
Yeah.
They're a gear higher in their brain and their racing is a gear higher. And you go like, what do you mean? If you watch most Americans, like even Tomac, I think he said it a bit ago, is when you hear them on the track, they're wah, blah, blah, blah.
Wide open.
And it's like Europe's like another gear or two gears higher on the track. Their speed.
Momentum, they
Not
carry
so much valve
more.
bouncy going
But
on.
Exactly.
that's what you learn at Lommel and stuff. They slow down before
Yeah.
the corners and they go a gear higher and go through like. That's what I'm saying. That's one of the reasons I say practicing at those sort of tracks in the week is because that's the style you have to run. Like you over revving on those sand tracks and you're not going anywhere, are you?
No,
When
very
you ride
true.
high gear with momentum.
Yeah.
Everything's
They're,
off.
they're never at the limiter,
Right.
and it's not really. I'm meaning they're revving the bike or that. It's like the European rider is like another gear higher. I believe their speed, overall speed, is higher.
But I would say one thing in defense of the Americans when they had the Nations at America, that a muddy race or whatever.
Redbud.
How often do Americans see those conditions?
Yeah, so
Dude,
this
like,
is another question, another comment from Ferris Green again. When it comes to mud, MXGP riders are better than AMA.
yeah, 100%.
Agree?
Because they ride it all the time, dude. You go practicing in 3 times a week in
Well,
February,
you look at
March.
today.
You're riding in it, you know.
Come on, boys.
Pouring it down.
We've had this conversation already. When did you ever see Ricky Carmichael beat in the mud?
Yeah, do you remember Millville
It's-
06? He lapped James Stewart.
Exactly, lapped them all.
Lapped them
the
all,
whole
Yeah,
field.
I'll tell you when I saw him beat in the mud at Fox Hills in '96.
His throttle cable was broken.
There we go. You got beaten by quite a few
98
guys
that
day.
was.
98. that's it.
98.
A few cats had something for Ricky. That
I remember that because my TM truck was stuck on the side of the hill.
I was there
Jake
with my
Griffiths
friend.
reckons that GP's more technical, the track's more technical.
Tracks are definitely rougher.
Yeah, I wouldn't say technical, just rough as hell.
Here's a question for Neil from Joel Fisher. For Neil, out of all the youth riders in the UK, who do you reckon has got the most potential for GPs at the moment?
Joel Rizzi, 100%.
Excluding Joel, because he's your guy. And he's already, I guess, finding success in at the GP level in EMX 125.
I spent some time last year at the World Championships in Arco di Trento, kids.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a few like Preston Williams, his talented kid.
I just shot a video of Preston Williams a couple of weeks ago.
He's talented, he does very good at mountain biking. It's hard because the level to go up is quite a big jump. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, a good schoolboy rider or good, the youth class rider, it's hard to step up to that next level. But, you know, I don't know that many. I mean,
You think Tommy Sill
you
went from the under 21 racing to the adult class and was finishing third in England and finishing top 10s in GPs at 16 years old. That's your next. That's the sort of
what
thing you got to
you're
be
looking
the
for,
next
yeah.
big, the next talent out of England or whatever they want to call it.
So, rider that I think he was at Italy last year, Charlie Heyman, on a big 185 last year.
Number 22.
I'm not sure if he was at that race. He might have. No, he was. I think. Number 22. He's
Who's the kid who was riding for Revo last year? He was
Ollie Colmer.
Ollie Como. Watched him a little bit. There's loads of them. It's just I'm sorry. I feel really bad because I don't really, obviously I work for Joel, so last year I was probably washing the bike when them kids were riding. I obviously know Preston because he was in the same as
class, yeah.
I know Ike Carter.
Ike, yeah.
Another talented kid.
Yeah, he's good.
Lewis Hall has just gone KTM to see if he can find something there. The step is quite high. Like, with Joel, we've gone on to 250 now. Haven't spent much time with him in the lockdown because obviously he lives in Wales and there's not much travelling been going on. But it's like, I was chatting to someone today. You've got to get to the races, get a good start, and see where that speed is at. I know if Joel starts 5th in a British Championship, say, I won't be expecting him to go backwards. That's my opinion. Do you know what I mean? But he's got to get the start, got to see where we're at, because there's a lot of talented guys in there. So, I don't know, they just got to make him as strong as possible. I think with these young kids nowadays, they've got to fill the tank up and ride as much as they can to get the strength in there to go the distance. Because, let's be honest, when you get MX2, you've got Conrad, you've got Josh Gilbert, all them guys in there. Pretty strong class British Championship, and then the step up to the EMX 250s a step as well. Yeah. You've got last year's 125 joint, is it Guadagnini?
Yeah, 101.
Yeah, like that kid's fast.
I think like those guys that have got the potential to be GP riders have already got to be doing like European 85 races and stuff.
Yeah.
And start that trend like young, learn that whole scene from a young age, and then I think the possibility is a lot more to become a GP rider.
Well, one thing last year at the World Championships in Arco, there was a kiddie there, an Italian kiddie on an 85 big wheeled. I don't remember the guy's name, but my good God, was he fast! Like, he won, I think, every race that day. And I'd have to check if he's gone up this year, but I don't remember his name. But he won the races. He was nearly as quick as the 125 guys.
Right, so we'll put a pin in the comments. We'll come back to them at the end of the show. There's just one last comment here that I want to get on the GP versus AMA debate that I thought was quite interesting. Motocross Mania says AMA is far more exciting to watch. The commentator is more exciting. What would you prefer?
That's why. South African vibes.
Yeah, GL. What would you prefer to watch? If you went home now and put a race on, would you watch a GP or would you watch a national?
I watched GPs for ages, though. I'll be honest, I watch all the AMA races. I don't watch any GPs now.
So, what does that tell you?
I enjoy watching them. Like, when you're there and, even on TV, you watch them, you can't really say, the coverage is different in America.
The coverage is much different, yeah.
The problem is probably a lot of people want to watch America for is because it's like, it sounds silly, like you can watch it on TV, you get a bit more interest there, where Europe, it's a different stuff, like just completely different. It's like going to watch Coronation Street and then watching
EastEnders.
I tell you what I really like in
movies.
America is
Two
MX2
completely
cars
different
in
things.
America. I love watching MX2 in America. It's so cool.
Flat out it. I would say the general consensus in the chat is leaning towards GPs.
Yeah.
So we'll put the W at the GPs for now. And we'll check back at the end of the show.
Yeah, MX2 GPs are pretty good racing as well to watch. Very good.
When I would like the Hurlins, Rocks and Musquin era, I'd watch MX2. That's what I'd wait all day for.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really care about it.
It's gone the other way now.
Yeah,
isn't
now
it? Now MX1 is the one to watch.
Yeah. So let's end that there. GPs with the W for now. We'll have a look back at the chat and answer the questions at the end of the show. Let's jump into the third segment of today's show. That's Right or Wrong. Right, so Right or Wrong is a brand new segment that we're introducing in today's show. And basically this is like a show and tell segment, a cool or not cool. We've all come in with I've got like an Instagram post I want to show the guys. Nev's got Nev's got something to show us. I don't know what Neil's got. We don't know what each other's got, and we basically got to show our object, our rad, what we think is pretty rad, and convince the other two guys that it's also rad. And if it's a unanimous decision, it's rad. If it's not, it's wrong and it's being booted out. So Nev's pretty excited about what he's got. So what have you got to show us? What do you reckon is rad?
And I need to tell you the reason why I think this is pretty cool. Let me get out first. It is brand new. It's not mine. So,
This looks old.
this is JP Styles, I think. He was a Premier man.
So was I.
Let's have a look. The anticipation is killing me, guys.
So check this out. So,
Look at that.
look at that.
It's
And the reason why I think this is so cool, right? Is
got a
because
shark on the side.
when it's dry and dusty, you can go all Chico Chiodi styles and run it like that to get the air in. As soon as you think you're going to start losing a bit of teeth, when the roost comes out, you can go Gar Cooper styles and chuck the mouthpiece on it. And you've got like a lookalike air eye.
Does that even fit on there?
Yeah, of course it is. It's got screws with a lot, dude.
And what, it bends round?
Yeah, you know like how the air eyes are? You could be like Shane King and run it down there.
Yeah. Or Hacking Carquist style and just take the goggles off.
Or
like
even
the face,
Gunderson. I think Gunderson was one of the last
Yeah, he
dudes to
was,
run it
yeah.
like this.
I think he was.
How cool is that? You can
That
buy
is
one
pretty
helmet
rad.
and you can like have different styles, you can wear different goggles.
Have you never seen that before?
Of course they have.
Oh, I was going to say that.
I've never seen that
Haven't you?
before. No.
Have you never seen it?
Jeez.
Never in my life have I
Let
dreamed
me
about
put it
getting
on
a
for you,
motocross
dude, and
bike
then you
with
can
one
like
of those.
decide.
Against the 450, just the roost coming up.
Yeah, as soon as you think the teeth are gonna go, you get the mouthpiece
Yeah.
out,
You just
Pull
have
over, the wife's got it, bolt it on.
some bolt-ons. So
that
yeah,
looks fresh though.
brand new.
Brand new. They
Yep.
still make them.
I was meant to get one of the South African guy bought it last year at Farley, and he needed to get it sprayed like a J&B replica, and it hasn't happened, so I've taken it off his hands.
No, so what are you saying?
Watching
What are you
this.
saying, Neil? Rad or wrong? Is that rad? To take you back to your childhood, or did you? When did you people start wearing those? When did racers stop wearing
I was born in
97.
72, so 73, maybe they threw them away.
No chance.
No, it wasn't
No,
like...
dude, Gunderson was still wearing these.
Yeah,
in 97.
no. They're around a long time.
Chody was wearing it in 1990.
92,
How
yeah.
on earth could I just don't get? Well, when you saw what happened to Brad Anderson at Hawkstone the other year, that thing's not doing nothing.
Thorpe and all of them used to wear these open face.
Yeah, they
helmets.
did. Hacking car.
And used to
all
like
used
they
to
used
have
to
them.
make like really cool Oakley face marks and stuff.
You know what
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
though,
my
didn't
dad
you?
has some of those in the garage.
The races
Oh,
were
no.
40 minutes, so you take the goggles off with the covering, but you could get more air into your face to cool off.
More dusty than this.
Yeah,
Dude, I reckon I might run this. Do you reckon I pass technical at the British or not?
maybe. That's
Do
why.
you reckon
all,
you could pass technical at Farley with that?
Yeah,
The
for
vets,
sure.
you'd
Dude.
be able to
I
ride
don't even
that.
think there is a technical, is there?
that's why a lot of old riders have got veneer teeth. They're all knocked out.
Knocked out, roots to the face. So I'm gonna vote. That's rad. I like that.
No, it is
I'd
rad.
never wear.
It is
I'd never
rad.
wear it. I'd never wear it, but
You wouldn't have
it'd, be, it'd,
trials
look
bike
good, it'd look good somewhere in here, wouldn't it?
on the wall, definitely.
Yeah, all right.
Wait until you got this on. You guys carry on. When you got this on, it'll be
Right.
definitely.
So I'll wait till you're finished with my pick. So you've gone into the rad books with that, the Premier Open Face.
Multitasking.
What's
now,
your
dude.
choice, Neil? What you're saying? What's rad?
Mine is I didn't bring it because I didn't get the memo, but I
You
think
guys
I did.
feeling bad
I
now
got it
because
wrong.
you know there's no comparison.
There's
to
no.
this,
I've,
is
No,
there?
there is-
you've won. I think
Yeah.
you might have won the day.
You
I
guys
never even
think
thought
that.
about that, but I'm going with the start device. The start device, start button. Like I think it was round about Corrado Muddy days, and I'm not sure if it was Chiodi's bike. He turned up with like a device on the fork where they had a hook on the fork, and then they used to cut a hole in the fork guard. So what they'd do is pull it down, push the hook through the fork guard, and that would act as your start device. So when the fork went down, it pushed the guard out, then hooked off. And
What was the reaction to that back in the day?
it blew people's head off because he kept it really quite
Was it
secretive.
seen as like cheating or like
No,
frowned upon or?
no.
Because now it's just like second nature, second thought. You don't.
You have a cheap
Look at
man's
that.
error now, dude.
Well, it was that
I had
desperate.
one of those. Do you know those helmets that you have as a kid, like Max or something helmets, and they're just like that, and they're chin guard screwed on.
My boy's got one for BMXing, like
Yeah.
hangs down here
Yeah,
somewhere,
yeah,
like
massive.
plastic guard. The start device, yeah, it kind of was seen not as cheating. It was a good idea. You know what I mean? Like, and it come out and like now RFX make the button, which is all nice job. But back in my day, back in like the 90s, you were like, my good God, we need to get that. And it took a few years before people started making it. But to me, it was something that someone thought about, which is a really good idea because we've all been on old bikes where you dump the clutch, the front wheel comes up. And once you've started with a start device, well, Neville will say like,
You never go back.
yeah, if you went to a race meeting, like a serious race, you'd be like, uh-oh, you'd be worried. And so that was something back in the day that was developed by Corrado Maddy. Like, I don't think he had a pay to. I bet he wish he did do.
Yeah.
But that guy was someone who looked at everything, and to come up with that idea was pretty smart. Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, back in my days in the 90s, not my days, but back in them days, you know, there was one time at night, one team on a sand track had dug metal bits into the ground
For grip.
to put into the sand. So when they dumped the clutch in the morning, obviously they qualified, I think, first and second, it would grip on that. They got found out for that.
Yeah.
And they didn't kind of find out who the team was, but they got them removed in the morning. They were taken out. But that's how much back in them days, how much people
were trying to look for it,
were looking for that type of thing, really. And
I've never really thought about what days before a whole shot device were like. I just kind of take it for granted, don't you?
I think so. Yeah.
No,
I think it's an awesome device. Like 100%. You know, you got to like. You actually can't compete with one and without one.
No.
It's not a fair
Yeah.
start. One thing I would say with it is, he's just taking a bit of the technique out to start.
100%, yeah.
You know, so I think it's given everyone more of a fair chance, and it's taken a bit of the technique and the feel out of getting a good start. You know, like getting over the front of a CR250 or something and trying to keep the front end down to the turn was the technique you had to learn. Now, you know, they're so low. Like, I never used to have mine that low, did I? Like, I would put mine on myself the whole time, but you see at the GPs where they literally...
There's two people.
And they just like that, dude, just flat out and boom. And, you know, like, as long as you're locked in and you're holding yourself on the bike, you're going to go forward with the bike, you know? So, you know, for sure, there's no contest that you can't start without one at a serious level.
But would you prefer a world without whole shot device?
100%, yeah.
So, he's going wrong on your choice then?
What do you reckon?
I'm going to go rad. Like,
yeah. I think it
for,
is...
For someone like me, it makes starting a whole lot easier. Even though when I was a kid, I never ever used one.
It is
never
a massive... and like, I wouldn't be surprised if soon the bars come out staying with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Or they'll come with a button which just holds the fork internally down type of thing.
Yeah.
Like the rear start device out as well. I'm just sorry I didn't bring in the RFX one to show you, but it's a good product. It's on the website.
Definitely a game changer. I was actually in South Africa the first time I saw one. And do you ever remember Richard van der Westhuizen?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
His dad was a really clever guy, and Richie came over here and must have seen one over here, and his dad built him one.
Yeah.
And I remember as well, like he's on the start line, and everyone's standing around and looking at this, you know, like just cleverly made little thing that his dad had made, you know. And obviously now it's gone a little bit further with the rear one as well, where you can do the front and the rear. So.
Well, it was that desperate back in the day. You remember the team Shahos?
Yeah.
Like they're still about now.
They're KTM, aren't they now?
Yeah, they were running Hondas back in the day, and they made like something that I was like, are they really going to run like that? And I can't remember how they did it, but they had like you know the metal Jubilee clips. They had about 4 of them up the fork, and they were hooking that onto something on the fork leg to hold it. So basically, when it come off, it was just like kind of hanging.
Sketchy, yeah.
But it was inside the fork, inside the gut. Somehow they had, but it was a real, or it was maybe a metal tube at the top, and it worked.
Industrial job.
But when you looked at it, you thought, really, that isn't like where Maddie's was kind of hidden and a nice job.
Yeah.
That's how desperate people were getting to copy this idea. And to be fair, if you look back the 90s, early 2000s, Maddie was running Chiodi, Federici. Look how many starts them boys got. They all shot nearly every race.
Was that the first team that Corelli rode for as well? That wasn't Maddie, was
No,
it?
that was Martin Honda. He
No,
rode
the second
for.
year on the Yam, when he was Federici's teammate.
Oh, that was Decali as well.
Decali.
That was Decali. Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
So
there was another Maddie team, though, wasn't there?
Corrado Maddie. He's that guy I'm on about. He runs Guadagnini now and Ferrata.
2005, who was that? Like they used to run Sastler and them, did they? On Hondas. Is that the same Maddie team?
No, I don't think it was Maddie. No, Maddie Corrado. Well, Corrado Maddie was nearly world champion. He I think Michael Rinaldi hit him and broke his leg for the world championship.
Oh, sure.
So, Nev's made it into the Hall of Fame with his helmet.
Yep.
You just missed out with your whole shot device. My choice, I saw this on Instagram. I've never seen anything like it before, and the guys like, that's so cool. Is basically this. We'll play some pictures for the guys watching. In Sydney, in Australia, these guys have built a dome with a Supercross track in it.
Oh, inside that bowl is a Supercross track.
Inside that is a Supercross track.
Nice.
Open every day, like basically.
Yeah,
You know, you can go kart in here. That's what they built over there. I thought that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
No pillars in the way.
Yeah.
Open all day.
Max, that's no good.
That's no good.
That's
You're not
nothing like
liking
my
it.
start device. I'm sorry.
Did you ever go?
But
That's like a tent.
But
That's
mate,
a tent.
Look at the weather outside now. It's a dome. It's not a tent. It's a dome.
That's the problem. You're an American rider. Then you're looking for the easy life, and Hurling's is a lot
For
more in the
sure,
mud
I'm a
and
fair
rain.
level rider, and that is what I'm looking for.
Did you ever go to those in Germany?
That is
those,
cool.
Those little halls. Where they got Supercross.
Yeah,
tracks.
that's
Mate,
it. Yeah.
compared that to those ones that used to be in Sheffield, your little
Dude,
sheds.
Sheffield looked like Anaheim compared to these German ones we used to ride. Like literally, if you case a triple, you're gonna end up with like scaffolding through your helmet.
Yeah, but in
Was
Sheffield, you'd be in the pillar. If you went off the track, it was just
exactly.
a big concrete
See, that's
pillar
the
there.
beauty of this dome that I've seen
Yeah.
on
that is
Instagram.
pretty
Is
sick. That is
there's
quite
no
cool.
pillars in the middle.
Yeah.
I was just looking on their website today. It's apparently it was some racing family, and the kid was like, "Oh, Dad, why isn't there any places we can ride indoors when it's raining?" And Dad's like, "Why isn't there any places we can go?" And he researched, found this dome thing in America, and took it over to Australia. It's their first one they're ever doing, and it's like they're open every day. You can ride till 10 o'clock, and I think 9 o'clock at night.
How big is it?
I'm not sure. It looks pretty big though. If you
Yeah.
look at that guy
It's
airing
like a
it.
big marquee or something.
You sure that isn't the little plastic bikes my boy uses, and your boys probably use them little
That's a full-size motocross bike there.
Ah, jeez, yeah, it's big.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool.
I came across on Instagram. I was like, I've never seen anything like that before.
That is cool.
Yeah, no, that is good. That is a good idea. That's,
So what are we saying? Rad or wrong?
That is right.
Rad.
I'll go rad.
Yeah, you got to be. If you say that's
Sydney
wrong,
Dome.
you're not
Sydney
wrong.
Dome makes it into the Rad or Wrong Hall of Fame. So that wraps us up for Rad or Wrong here today. Let's move it on to Neil's favourite segment of the show, Dirt Brains.
Oh,
We are on the hunt for the world's biggest dirt brain. In our quest to find the most knowledgeable dirt bike geek in
You
all
haven't
the
bought that,
land,
have you?
we'll
That's
be
JP's,
pitting
isn't
two
it?
rivals head-to-head
Is
in
it
a three-round
JP's?
contest of Moto Trivia.
It's
The rider with the most points
That's
at the
JP
checkered
on the
flag
side
will
today.
live
JP
on in
used
eternal
Premier,
glory,
didn't he?
knowing that for today at least,
I was,
they
yeah,
are
I
the
was,
biggest dirt
but
brain
full
in the
face.
room.
Yeah.
Get ready for the gate drop.
Similar
This
colour to that.
is Dirt
yeah,
Brains.
it was, yeah.
Dirt Brains then. Like I say, Neil's favourite part of the show because he's 0-2 so far in the 2 rounds of Dirt Brains that we've had. We'll start with round number 1, which we call the hole shot round. This is your time to grab the hole shot and take the early race lead. Both competitors will be given the same question from any category, selected at random. They'll have 10 seconds to write their answer on the whiteboard provided, and then they'll reveal their answers one at a time. Each question is worth 1 point. 3 questions make up the round. And I've pre-selected the categories already.
Cheers then.
I tried to be nice and pick a nice varied set. So round number 1, category number 1, we got Supercross.
Oh, here we go. YouTube monster
Yeah.
next door here.
Let me just find the questions.
I've started working again, dude. I don't have no time for YouTube no more. Tate's got my phone every day.
What's that?
Tate's got my phone every day. I'm working in the days. I don't have no YouTube time.
It's
no
when your
more.
mates send you a message, you're like, let me read that first. It's a video, Dad.
Yeah.
Give it here.
Or the phone rings in the shower. What's happening? You should just keep that phone away from your mom.
Yeah, that's it. You get me shot.
Right, okay, question number 1. James Stewart was once known as the fastest man on the planet. In total, including 125 East and West, how many Supercross titles did he win?
And 250 together.
Yes,
So all of his Supercross.
all of his Supercross titles. Look at the concentration on the faces, no
That's
cheating.
quite a
please,
hard one,
boys.
that is. That's
dude.
quite a hard
Yeah.
one.
I know only big bike ones.
Yeah, I know
just
that
can't
as well.
work
Yeah,
out.
that's why I did the question. I don't want to make it too easy for you boys.
Right, so I'm gonna have a guess.
I reckon I've got it, but
Go, write it down then, let's see.
we'll see it.
Have you written it down?
Yeah.
Alright, go for it.
I think I've 4.
I thought I didn't think you'd written it down yet.
4.
Correct, it's 4. Were you gone for 3 there?
I went for 3.
They'd prove it. I seen it. There was 4 and 3. Yeah.
So did he win 2
He got
125
2
championships?
125s.
I thought he
2
won
big
1.
bikes.
Because I'm sure he stayed another year down, didn't he? I'm sure he did.
And
Well,
just
obviously
write
he
down the
did.
scores.
1 up.
They're not as many as you'd think.
I've got to go home now. My
I
wife's
knew
just-
Yeah.
I knew he had two big bikes.
2 big
And I
bikes.
knew he had 1 on the little bike. But then I thought he broke his shoulder in the second year when he was doing the 125.
I think he still won it.
Did he?
I think in Las Vegas. Remember
Yeah, he
that?
busted
The
himself
shoot was that the
forward.
one he went over and crashed the mechanics.
Yeah, that's it.
I think he smashed his shoulder big time that
Oh,
day.
yeah, wrote himself off big.
Right, so category number 2 for round 1, we got Kawasaki. Let's find some Kawasaki questions. We got that big
Go 94. British
last
Championship.
last time we had that Mike LaRocca question that no one got.
I did. I wrote his
Yeah.
name down.
Wrong Mike.
We did get him, but we went for the wrong one. We didn't trust ourselves, either of us.
Right, where are my Kawasaki questions?
Oh, I'm thinking.
Here we go.
Any World Championships did Dave Fort win on it?
Who was the last Kawasaki rider to win a world championship in either the MX1 or MX2 class? So who's the last Kawasaki world champion?
Either in 125 or 250.
Yeah.
I think I know that.
I think.
It's tense in here tonight, boys. You can feel it. You can feel the desperation like pouring off Princey. You both got answers?
I've rubbed his name off because it wasn't him.
Well, we got 5 seconds, Neil. 4, 3, 2.
Okay,
Right, Nev, what you got?
Mashio.
Mashio.
Christophe Pourcel, 2006.
Yeah, definitely. That was
Yeah.
Mashio. Look.
MX2.
was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So no points.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he
Beat
did.
early, yeah. And then he
Wow.
done himself, didn't he, in
Yeah.
Ireland?
Got landed on. Who did he get landed on
Forgot
by?
about that. Guarneri.
Nope.
Oh, I
Number
think
3.
Benini. Oh, did he?
Little short guy.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, Orban.
Yeah.
You go.
Oban.
I thought you meant because
Yeah,
Correa
for
was
sure.
number 3.
No, Oban. Oban
Right.
landed on him.
I was shocked that I thought that was an easy one.
Mate.
Recent.
I didn't even think.
Isn't it weird how you kind of think of 06 as being recent, but it's not?
I was thinking about
Thought-
factory riders. That's why I got it wrong because he was on his own team, wasn't he? I was thinking about.
Yeah, you
Kawasaki
said factory
riders.
Kawasaki. Yeah,
No,
you're
I
right.
didn't. I
Yeah.
said, who was the last Kawasaki rider?
Questions are wrong, mate.
Neville's WhatsApp didn't work quick enough.
Yeah. His Siri didn't work, did it? Right. Category number 3, we're going for Honda. Let me get my Honda questions out. Right, let's have a nice fun one. Which cartoon character featured on the rad shroud of Ricky Carmichael's factory Honda in the early 2000s?
That's your favourite sticker kit, isn't it?
Yeah.
You gave it to me.
Everyone's favourite sticker kit.
What year?
I just said early 2000s. I don't think he had more than one cartoon character, did he?
That's where you're wrong.
Right, let's go 2002.
Was that
Yeah,
when
there
Vegas
was.
was on the end?
Have you both written down an answer?
Woody Woodpecker.
Woody Woodpecker's the answer.
Yeah, I was.
Woody Woodpecker.
I was
yeah?
just tricking
Tricky.
I was
You was
thinking
trying
about
to-
the other-
you was
because
trying
the
to
end of the
suss it
year
out.
we went black. I've got the panels for that. He went Scorpion. Remember we did that one round Scorpion and
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
so that's
there's like
round
a-
number 1, done and dusted. Woody Woodpecker was the answer there. Which cartoon character did Ricky Carmichael have on his rad shroud? So at the end of round number 1, NP is in the lead, 2-1. Right, round 2 is the wheel round. This is the shot. This is your shot to either run away at the front of the field, Neil, or make up time and fight back through the pack. But as in any race, Lady Luck has got to be on your side. Each competitor has to spin the wheel and get a category. Let me just get it out.
you're scared. Man. I thought you were getting ready for the answer. I was getting ready to answer something then. I was like, get ready.
Let me get that out. Right. Neil, as you're in the lead, you can spin first to select your category. Honda. Right. Remember, Neil, if you need it, you've got multiple choice.
What's that mean?
So if you don't know the answer,
Yeah.
I can give you 3 options,
Okay.
and you can. But
Okay.
you go from 3 points to 1.
Okay.
So let me get the question out.
I'm nervous.
Who was the last Honda rider to win the Premier Class Supercross Championship?
Premier Class Supercross
Yeah,
Championship.
so 450.
That's easy. Man.
Ricky Carmichael.
Ricky Carmichael is correct. 2004.
Oh, here we go.
So that's 3 points. Yamaha.
Oh,
Yamaha. Right.
Blue Crew.
Neville Bradshaw. Can you name? Maybe you got multiple choice. Can you name the last 3 riders to have won an MX1 World Championship for Yamaha?
Last 3.
Last 3.
MX1.
MX1. Reckon, Neil, do you have that one? Don't say anything, but
I know 2 of them. That's not that
Oh.
easy either.
it's quite easy looking at the.
There's been KTM quite a bit lately, though. Eh?
Nearly the whole time.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Everts,
He's looking nervous.
Everts, Caroli, Philippart. Oh, February. Hang on. Wait.
Hold on. That's dances, isn't it?
February. Wait, hang on.
Hold
I
on.
had 10 seconds. I had 10 seconds now.
I'm gonna give him that because I didn't say anything.
Come on. This
I
is
didn't
like.
say anything.
This is
he
like
worked it
against
out
me that he
himself.
said the
February,
3 names.
Philippart, and Caroli.
He was just doing the working out loud.
Yeah, I was just working out my head.
February, Caroli, Philippart is the correct answer.
Yes.
I'm gonna give that. That might be a
Still in
bit
the game.
controversial in the group chat, but I'm gonna give you the points just for the sake.
Yeah, you
just
boys,
for the sake of
boys
keeping
carry
it
on.
interesting.
You boys carry on.
Just to keep him in the game, dude.
Just to
and
keep
keep
him in
the
the
people
game.
watching.
I've got to
Exactly. It was all
go.
about the views, Neil. It was all
I'm
about the
feeling ill.
views.
Got to keep him going,
Right,
dude.
let me get rid of this.
Jeez, February. I can't believe I almost forgot that one.
See, I knew February. I didn't even. Philipparts would never have gone on radar.
That's a good
2009.
pull.
That's
That
when
is
you were racing against him.
2008.
I'd have gone February. Everts. Seriously.
Who was before that?
Everts before then, wasn't it?
Demaria. No.
Demario
He
never won.
won some MX3 World Championships.
Yeah.
On KTM though.
No, Yami.
Demaria did.
I'm pretty sure.
For
he
sure, KTM. His last one anyway.
I think he rode for them, but he didn't win on it,
no,
did he?
he did.
Bruggeman's
He
on
won.
it, yeah.
Did he?
Sven Bruggeman.
Demario won for Yami in 2007.
Did he? What,
MX3, yeah.
Could have been a bit of us. Old
Bruggeman
boys.
was Farley, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Chad, we were watching the other day, and Chad goes, "Look at that guy gone by," and I went, "That's Sven Bruggeman's, that is." Chad was like, "Looking, is there some big fat guy going by me?" Oh, he let me for
World
saying that.
champion.
So he's big guy now,
Yeah,
isn't he?
he's tall, eh? And wide.
Right, so the last round is the speed round. This is your chance to blitz the
Oh,
final
I hate
lap,
This, man.
make the last second pass, and take your shot at claiming the checkered flag.
This makes my
But
anxiety
riding on
go.
edge always comes with its own risks. The speed round consists of 5 questions from any category, asked to both players at the same time. Buzz in by shouting your name. You've got 5 seconds to answer. If you get it right, it's 1 point. If you get it wrong, -1 point.
And we're
Okay.
level at the minute.
No, you've got the lead by 1.
You just need to answer one wrong.
Yeah, you just sit there.
Cheers.
Right, so category number 1 is Suzuki. Let me find a question.
2018.
Which Suzuki rider won the 250cc World Championship in 1994?
Neville. Albertine.
1 point to Neville.
Yeah,
Hold on,
3
he
points.
said Neville first.
What?
I was joking.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's 1 point. 1 point for...
So we evens now.
so you're even now,
How many
yeah.
questions have we got
Five
left?
please. 4 more
I'm
questions
still
to
trying
go.
to digest that question, then.
This hard to do.
Next,
It is, yeah.
next category is Yamaha. Let me just have a look at this question. I'm going to change the category because that question is not good for a speed round. I'm going to go British. Can you name the past 5 MX2 British champions?
Neville. Conrad Muse. Who's the Aussie, that New Zealand dude last year?
I can't give you the answer, mate.
What's his name? What's his name?
Hold on.
Walsh.
Yeah.
Walsh, Muse.
That's a tough question, that is.
I'll give you 15 seconds for this one.
Okay, so how many? 5.
5, yeah.
So Walsh, Muse, So what year was that back to 15? Anstey? No.
Anstey?
No,
No,
Anstey.
I'm gonna have to take a
Dixon.
point off
Yeah,
you there,
take
mate.
it off me, dude.
Anstey lost it to Stephen Lenoir that year, didn't he?
Oh, he
No
did,
way.
it's
yeah.
Stephen Lenoir, Adam Sterry, Ben Watson, Conrad Muse,
Ah, no, I
Dylan
didn't
Walsh.
have that. I didn't even know Adam Sterry had won a British Championship.
Yeah, they both won one.
I deserve to lose.
Tough question.
You were quick then, dude. I was like,
Because I was thinking I was racing with
Yeah,
those
you're
guys,
thinking-
wasn't I? I was
yeah.
racing
I
at
was
that
struggling
time.
with just last year.
Right, so category
Get back to the old questions. We
You stick
know
on
the
them.
old-
You need to
Stick on
90s
them.
stuff. So it's back to 5-4 now then. Going to amateur.
Amateur. Oh,
The
that's a bit of me in that last
What do
question.
you mean by amateur? AMCA? I don't know. No, but if amateur could mean
Yeah,
yeah,
where
AMCA.
you think
I'm
AMCA.
I'm
Get your
not-
mate number 14 on speed dial there.
So
Best ever.
we're talking about mainly American amateur because that's easiest to find information
See, it's
about.
lucky I asked.
It's easier to find more information and results for the Loretta Lynn's than the AMCA
Oh,
Championship.
dude, Loretta Lynn, I don't even.
Right, so
He's more of a who was the boys? Who was that? Your teammate from Farley. He's an AMCA king, isn't he? Davis.
Gary Davis. Yeah.
in what year, so this is in the category of amateur, in what year did Ricky Carmichael win his
Neville.
last Loretta Lynn's?
1995.
Wrong.
Wrong, mate.
6.
No, you're wrong.
You're way wrong.
16 was it maybe?
No, because he was professional in 96.
No. He went
He
back
went
to
back.
Loretta Lynn's.
He went back in 2012.
12, was it 12?
2012.
Oh, I watched that the other day on TV.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
team
he
went
went-
back to it.
Jeez, yeah, but I didn't think it was like
Yeah,
8 years
long time
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it
2012,
was maybe
so,
like 2 years ago.
right.
There's a sneaky question,
That
that
was
dude.
a sneaky
That was
question,
sneaky.
but-
No, but I
I've got to be
knew that.
sneaky.
I knew that. Just I wouldn't. Because I watched it not long ago. Because they did a video of the road back to Loretta
that's
Lynn's.
quite cool.
Right, so
Robbie Reynard was right on him. In the
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
it's a 3 to 5.
Game over.
Two questions left, so you could equal it up, and we go to sudden death.
I told you, his feelings are bad this week. I'm just letting him win to get his confidence back up before he goes to Latvia, so he doesn't take it out on his team. You know, I'm doing it for the boys in the team, so they don't get like a backlash off of this.
Oh, that's funny. You're raging, dude. On the way home,
You did
you'll be
like
on
that
the
one,
way
didn't you?
everything.
You
I'm not raging, but I'm just happy Max is trying to like get these clever questions in. You know, that's quite a straightforward question. 1995, easy.
It was 1990. Yeah,
2012.
1995 was the one before.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right.
That's good though, knowing that. Because you were like, yeah, no, I'm thinking, dude, no, he did it not long ago.
Jeez. I was thinking, because he went pro in '96.
Yeah.
Right. Category number 4 then is GPs. There have been world champions from over 19 countries, but which country boasts the most world champions?
Neville. There's 2 options. It's either Sweden or Belgium.
What one are you gonna go for?
Belgium.
Correct answer. So that takes us 4 to 5.
Sweden used to win heaps in the olden days.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So it goes.
You were brave then
France.
doing that one, because I thought I'll just stay quiet here for a minute.
By my
I was
count,
thinking not to answer because I've been mugging myself off the whole
by
time.
my count, France have got 19 different world champions. Sweden have got 17, and Belgium have got 52.
I was going to go for Belgium, that's no lie.
Yeah, Belgium is
Yeah.
definitely one of them.
They won a lot.
I just thought
That's-
back in the olden days the Swedes used to win a lot.
Yeah, back in like the 60s and stuff.
You know this next question, I'm just going to go for it even if I don't know it.
Yeah,
Then
so-
you're gonna, if you get it wrong, then you're done, my man.
Yeah, I
at least
know.
you can
No,
tie.
if he
At
gets
least you
it
can
wrong,
tie.
it's tied, and then it's sudden death.
Oh, okay.
Because it's
And if I get it
5-4.
right, it's tied as well.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have to go for it.
Yeah.
If I want to. I
Right.
told you my plan. I'm just trying to make you feel
So
good
the
this week.
the category is Supercross.
Oh, it's like, I'm done. They're gone.
Right. Ready? Who is the oldest 450 Supercross main event
Neville.
winner?
Justin Brayton.
Bingo.
Jesus.
Just had to tie it up there. You know,
That
this
was
is the last half dash.
2018, I think, wasn't it?
Daytona.
At Daytona. 5 apiece, Neil. You've blown your lead.
Jesus.
Right, so to decide
You were
the
quick
last-
then.
You wouldn't say that Brayton over Reed, would you?
I would have went Reed though then.
Yeah.
I was going to go for Reed if I'd got
Right.
it.
Neil, give that a spin.
Okay.
This is to decide sudden death.
I'm closer this week though.
Nationals.
Oh, this ain't a good one for me either.
You could be like Team Wales and be like, no.
Why can't it be like
Anyone
a tech
but Team
question?
Wales.
Tech question, like talking of a cylinder head.
I'll do some research next time.
I'd have to call my mate Al in quickly. What's it? Is it Al?
The diameter of a 125 piston. I know that one. 100 and...
Right,
70. Isn't it?
sudden death
So what is this? Also,
for nationals.
first person to say
First person to say it wins,
Go for it,
basically.
mate. Go for it.
In what year did Chad Reed win his only national title?
Neil.
2009.
Neil, what have you done, mate?
Oh,
He's taken it again.
but we said it like pretty much the same time.
That's the correct answer.
I,
Once again,
Jesus.
Nev's a 272 takes the championship.
3-3.
3-3. We're gonna have to find you someone else.
Oh
He's
God.
gonna go to Latvia.
I thought you had it there as well, mate.
Oh no, I was close. I was close to
I
this
thought I'd
week.
go for
I was
Did you have the
close
right
this
answer
week.
there or not?
What's that?
Did you have 09 as well?
I don't want to talk to you, Nev. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm done now.
Dude's he's hit a den of you like that, dude, singing, and he's just hit rock bottom on the last lap. Just been done for a podium spot. Back to the van.
I know.
He's done it. You've
exactly.
done a Zach Osborne to him, haven't you?
I'm over it. I'm
Last
over it.
lap. Right, so that about wraps us up for another week here on Hang Time. Let's just have a look at the chat, see what's going on. See, obviously most of the chat going on is still about the MXGP versus AMA debate. Someone says, Jake Griffiths says, in your guys' honest opinion, do you think they've made the right decision to restart motocross season in Europe? Or should they wait till the pandemic is completely over? Deep question to see us out.
Spread it.
To be honest, it would have been easier if they just went
Nah, yeah.
done. Then everyone
Less
knows.
stressful for everyone. wouldn't
Exactly. Where everyone at the minute's been lost, and it's true though, isn't it?
It's just an unknown, isn't it? That's a problem.
There's-
But then
yeah.
there's two sides to every story. Like, there's the one side on the health of people, and then there's the other side of, like, you know, teams that have paid wages, given bikes, given gear. You know, it's just, you know, it's an endless conversation that really.
Here's another controversial comment. Don't know why everyone compares a national championship to a world championship. Think there's any merit in that at all?
Well, it is like their series. It's a series against a series, isn't it? So it's an AMA series against the
Yeah.
World Championship series. So it's one series against another series. It's, you know, it's legit. I think. Anyway,
What do you reckon?
Do you?
Neil?
It's
Would you
kind-
rather be a world champion or an AMA national champion? I think in our
It's up to
world,
the
they're
person.
Pretty even, but if you said to
yeah, but it's not like an AMA national championship. It's not like a South African national champion.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's
but if you said to someone on the street that didn't know anything about motocross, oh, I'm a world champion or I'm American champion.
obviously then yeah.
Any
I think
any-
that's where
Any championship means
Otherwise
anything.
coming from.
It means everything to anybody. That's how I look at it. Whatever you win is like.
You beat 39 other guys for that, but yeah, it's just a comparison, isn't it? Like that's the two best series on the planet: World Championship, American Championship. That's the only two really, isn't there?
There's a lot more zeros probably for AMA championship
Yeah.
than a world. So
My bank manager would much rather win the AMA championship.
your accountant.
here's a good question from Vita. So in America they have themed weekends like the military weekend and whatnot. Do you think that either in the AMA or the MXGP they should have a throwback weekend where everyone rides two strokes? That'd be pretty cool,
It
but
would be so cool, but
But
it's
it
just
would
too
never
far
happen,
gone,
yeah.
you know. Like, and that's what I think's so cool about America. You know, like they do stuff like that. There's a cool vibe about stuff like that. You never really see that in Europe, do you? There's no throwback weekends or.
I've never seen them in America riding two strokes at a Supercross. I'd like to see it.
You know, like when they do, like when they wear.
Yeah,
like, the
that-
old
that's a
kit
good
and
idea,
all
yeah.
that sort of stuff. Or
Yeah.
they do something for cancer. Everyone wears pink, or you know, that's quite cool that the whole industry gets behind that. But you know, how cool would that be if you could do that? Like, it would never ever happen.
can you imagine if they this weekend's two-stroke weekend, the track was designed.
Well, I
back
suppose
like
they
that.
do a little bit with the Red Bull straight rhythm thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So-
a little bit the same thing.
It's not a
And
giant
look at the
leap.
vibe around that, dude. Like, look how much energy.
Well, look
and-
how
Yeah.
even the Red Bull straight rhythm was going for couple 2-3
When they
years,
turned
and
it
then they
two-stroke.
turned it
Yeah,
two-stroke.
yeah,
The interest
so
in it just
silly.
went.
Yeah. You know,
Didn't
like
it?
you see Roxon riding old Hondas and Hansen on old Hondas, and the old bikes won, dude.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Against 300 two-strokes, 250 two-stroke Honda from...
Or matey boy in the KX500, Tyler Bowers.
Yeah.
Is it Tyler Bowers? Yeah, Tyler Bowers. That was pretty good as well. Yeah.
Pastrana.
Yeah.
Fair play hucking that quad that they were doing on those old
Yeah.
bikes.
Yeah.
Take some
My
ball.
brother's in the chat, Jordan. He said he reckons AMA have got more iconic tracks. Do you think Red Bud, Budds Creek, Southwick versus?
No, it's,
I think the name goes with the
Global.
track. That's a kind of...
yeah, like I mean, you compare any of those tracks to a track like Namur or
Don't have it anymore.
you know what's it, Trentino.
Yeah,
I'm saying
okay,
like,
Trent,
it's
so
the
yeah.
history of it, though, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you compare like,
It's easy-
like that's an
there's-
iconic track, you know, like Namur or Trentino or you know, just the variation of the tracks is so different in Europe compared to America. I find like America is more like you know like a Cuss's Gorse type style. To a certain extent, you
Yeah.
know,
So like High Point and places like that a bit.
yeah.
Cusses Gauzy, aren't
One
they?
thing I do think is cool about
Steel
America
City.
is like, and it's something I struggled with when I came to England is, or in the GPs the same, when they used to have that netting around the sides.
Yeah.
You know, like the Americans can ride that extra 5% because they can afford to go off the track and come back on. Where when you're doing GPs, you have to, I believe your 100% is like 95% because you can't afford to get into that netting or
Into
there's
the-
posts all the way around tracks in England with like rope and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where the Americans used to hang it out a bit more because they had that, you know, like if they outbreak themselves and went over berm, they could come back onto the track. Or where in Europe, you know,
No.
like 95% was like your 100% because you had to give.
You're closed into the
Yeah.
track more, you can't go off. But I think your brother's got a good point there. If you go, say, Southwick or you go Red Bud, all in places, they have more of I think they have more of an effort of the definitely amount of people going, and the vibe from the Americans is we only really get it at an MX Nations race. Like every national they have, from what I can see, is like an MX Nations race
Yeah.
in Europe for us.
People
So-
are like partying for the
Yeah.
weekend
Yeah.
at those races.
Do you think as well because they've got 12 rounds and it's typically the same 12 tracks that like you grow up just hearing the names of those tracks,
Yeah.
whereas in the GPs you're going to new ones, new countries.
Yeah.
So for us, some track in Indonesia is not going to be iconic because it wasn't here 10 years ago. Whereas we've always heard Southwick, we've always heard Glen Helen.
Yeah.
But then if you go to Lommel, that's like an iconic track. You know, you get good crowd there, you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
good vibe. Portugal, Agueda, you get good crowd, good vibe there. Then
Sweden,
you get a good vibe.
Sweet, dude.
so
And also, what is the track when Caroli was racing against Garza?
Arco di Trento.
Mate, like when they had the air horns and the
Yeah.
red stuff going all the way around, like
Yeah.
you know, like so, you know, you can't really say that Europe hasn't got a vibe, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Like, but maybe America maybe only see races in like Indonesia or like Argentina has like a mega vibe as well.
Yeah.
There's lots of people there. So I don't know, maybe just they promote the name more and they've been around for many years where
Yeah,
we
that's what I'm saying. Because they've been around so long
Yeah.
and they've had the same pretty much 12 tracks on the calendar for 40 years,
yeah.
that it's just in your head a bit more that they are more iconic.
But
Not
I-
saying that they're better or worse, but you just know them more.
Yeah, and maybe just the way they promote it on TV. You know, when you put an AMA national, like bloody hell, like looks where you put a European on, it shows like the village, shows the town.
Yeah.
It's all very similar. Where maybe they could get you in there to like jazz up the start of it to give it more to the
Yeah,
track.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we'll take just a couple more questions because we're running. This is the longest show we've ever done. There's a few more questions coming in though, good ones. If you could bring back any track from the dead, which one would you pick and why? I'm going Ellsworth, straight out the back.
I'm going Cheddleton in
We talked about this, I think.
Stoke-on-Trent. The track's still there. If you Google it, the track's there. It's one of the mega track, schoolboy track. But it could be a good hilly track.
For you guys in like a GP tracks or that
Namur.
Namur?
Yeah, I'd like to race Namur again. I'd
I
really
just
like
like
to go back to
go and watch a
Namur.
race there.
I think they're racing there this year. Evo
Oh,
race.
really, yeah?
Evo race is there.
That'd be sick.
Or
Yeah, there
it's
was a
maybe
cool
cancelled, but it was going to happen.
Yeah, probably Namur for me. I'd like to go back and
Right, and then
going up those 3 hills was quite cool at the back, and then
Yeah.
you get that big tail top coming out of it at the back.
I raced there.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I broke both my feet at that track.
Did you?
Right next where the pub is on that step up.
Oh yeah.
And they had to get to the top of where the pits are.
Did you?
2 broken feet.
Please.
It was
Right, so
lovely, mate.
to see us out then, last question, and this will be the end of the MXGP AMA debate. Let's take Jeffrey Hurlins on his best day, Eli Tomac on his best day. I think who asked this question? Tricky96. Eli Tomac on his best day, Hurlins on his best day. Who's taking the win?
No match, dude.
There isn't. I'm sorry.
No match?
No.
Hurlings all day long.
Well, not even controversial, I don't think.
Okay, so
If we've got Americans
okay,
watching-
so put it like this. So I know Eli was going for that championship when Hurlings was there. The guy came from dead last in America and won the race. You take Eli to any one of Jeffrey's home tracks and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also this is the other thing is, I know he said he was going for the championship.
But saying that, like I'm saying that, you like, I'm not taking anything away from Eli Tomac. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's unbelievable. He'd lap us twice in a
maybe.
10-minute motor.
Maybe.
So, but like if you're comparing those two guys, Ed Motocross, obviously.
Yeah.
I just think Jeffrey's he's on another level. I think Jeffrey.
I think Hurlins is the fastest man on the planet.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, on that note then, let's wrap things up for Hang Time Live number 4. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. All that stuff. Remember, we got merch on up for grabs. Best comments, we're going to pick them after the show. We'll pick 2 of you guys to win some merch. To see us out this week, we've got a throwback to the 2017 Motocross of Nations, as we was talking about that earlier. We might be having it again here this year at Matley Basin in 2020. And if it does happens, hopefully it doesn't rain like it did in 2017. But anyway, thanks Neil, thanks Nev, thanks for joining me. Find Nev on Instagram at Nevster272. Neil doesn't have Instagram. He's not bothered, are you, mate?
No, my wife's on Facebook. You can see us on
if
there.
you need Neil,
sometimes.
just bother his wife.
Yeah.
Thanks once again to motocrossdirect.co.uk for sponsoring today's episode. See you again next time. Let's chuck it to the outro video. Thanks for watching, guys.
Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, one moment to capture the greatest race, what would you show?
This is it, people. Matley Basin 2017. We have 38 nations, 114 of the best riders in the world, ready to go at it out there. The track is gnarly, there's going to be carnage. We're ready to rumble. Motocross of Nations 2017, bring it on!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dave Wilson.